after school dances. I want to show you a really cool light. This was actually requested that I do a video on this because it's really cool. Those of you that have seen my posts know that I really haven't seen a black light that I really like. Some of them were either grossly underpowered, they were, I don't want to say expensive because some of the lights I saw were really cool, but for the price there was no way that as a multi-op would be able to do them or have several of them, or they sucked a crap load of power. And all the LED panels that I saw were like, nah, they weren't that great. Then I came across this little baby. I was told about it actually at the Moldy show. Did not get a chance to see one in person until recently. Had to pick a couple of these up right away. It's the American ADJ UV LED Part 16. That's right, it's an LED black light. Now the reason that I don't usually care for LED black lights are because it's not really a black light. It's just a purple LED diode and kind of looks like a black light, but it doesn't actually make things glow. It just makes white look purple. Ooh, big deal. This thing actually makes things glow. Now it does have a real deep purple wash, but again, so do really bright black lights. If you don't believe me, take your regular black light, put it up against the wall. As the light is concentrated, you're going to see a purple cast. Well, it's the same thing with this. This thing is stupid bright. We're actually going to plug it in real quick. I'll move it around the room for a second and you'll be able to see how bright it is right when it's hit. But you'll notice there's my lovely wife. Yay, she passes the black light test. Woo. And you'll notice how bright it is. Now, obviously, the camera is a little bit more deceiving in person. But as we zoom in, let's go over here to these little flower things on top. Again, it picks up, makes things pop real nicely. Now, okay, so the video you're seeing now is a Sweet 16 that I just did this weekend. This room was about the size of a middle school cafeteria, and we only used 2 of the lights. It's filling up the entire room real nicely. Now the other colors you're seeing, of course, are from the 2 Mega 24s that are being used in conjunction with the light. But even the UV LED 16 overpowers those lights, so the black light effect really pops through. So let's look at this light for just a second. As I said, it is highly concentrated. And I was worried a little bit about that because it's so concentrated. I didn't know it's a very narrow beam when you first look at it, and when you saw the quick video there, it is a narrow beam. And I didn't know, is this really going to fill up an entire high school gym? So we got 4 of these, and the next set of videos you'll see to end this with are from a prom that I just did to see how well 4 of these fill up a hotel room. I also picked up the Eco LEDs. I'll talk a little bit more about those in the next video to give an overall wash. But these are very intense. You cannot have this 6 feet up in the air. You better have this thing cranked up nicely to give a nice even wash. Otherwise you could have a real hot spot of black lights. But that's also pretty cool too, because my idea will be is to use these in the center of the floor, really overly wash it, and then use my Eco LEDs to give an overall wash for the entire rest of the dance floor. But I want there to be a hot spot of black lights. So what's going on here? Well, we have the LED banks, super absolutely bright. On the back, what I thought was pretty neat with this thing is that it's DMX controlled. So if you want to do some DMX strobes, black light sweeps, I mean there's some cool stuff. Imagine the entire room is pitch black and then you have all these to sweep, so it basically looks like half the room is black lights and the other half. Again, you can do some really cool stuff with that. You can also just do manual mode operation. You know, you can dim it depending on how bright you want it to be, because again, this thing is insanely bright of how much the lights will pop with this. The power supply I thought was pretty cool. Instead of a regular power supply, it has a locking IEC, so it holds in very nicely. The only thing I was very disappointed in not seeing is the connectors. Usually there's a power in and power out. Unfortunately, there is not a power out. I think it's not like it's a huge deal breaker, but I got so used to just running one IEC for an entire show of all my ADJ lights. I was kind of surprised not seeing it, but no big deal. Of course, you can use this. It's got little swivel feet, so you could use this as an uplight. Now, you may be wondering why the heck you'd want to use this as an uplight. If you have a wedding or an event where they're doing the white swag drapes on the walls, have this behind it and give it a really cool color. I know a lot of DJs are still poo-pooing all over the idea of black lights at weddings, but it does work. If you do it as a very subtle effect, meaning take a couple of these and dim them all the way down, you can have a nice little pop to the napkins, to different things. Obviously you want to have it off during the first dance because too bright and you're going to make people's teeth glow, which doesn't look very appealing during the first dance. But let's say it is a club style wedding, and shout outs to my homeboy Jason Janai, because he's amazing what he does with this. He does a whole bunch of the black lights, not sure what he uses, but he has the black lights, and he hands out the gloves in the middle of the wedding, of the reception, and everybody's out there with gloves in the air, different glow in the dark things, and people are going absolutely nuts because there's nothing but black lights. I mean, think about it. The brides are definitely getting younger each year. They're wanting a more club style wedding. Why not integrate black lights? And if you're in an area like, oh, nobody in my area does black lights, well, you should be the first. I think it started with uplights too, right? At some point people said the uplights didn't fit for weddings, and now there's uplights at every freaking wedding. Well, start doing something different. Start using black lights. Obviously for school events, I don't need to tell you how cool this is for school events. Again, you'll see a lot of videos of that. And then the other thing that I thought was really neat is because of the size of these, you can fit 2 of these on a crank 2 stand, which actually, I'll probably do a video on that too so you can see what I'm talking about. But the crank 2 stand, it's like a regular crank stand, like the Global ST132 stand, but it's a smaller one. So you can basically put this on a crank 2 stand, have a bubble machine on top, and there's also, American DJ has a DMX bubble machine, which actually would look like it's a pretty cool idea for this concept. But anyways, you have that, your bubble machine on top, and now you can have glow-in-the-dark bubble parties. Techno Bubbles is really cool because they do the whole glow-in-the-dark bubbles, and they don't stain clothing or anything like that. You just wash it off if it gets on your clothes. But yeah, think about it. Everybody's doing bubble parties. Awesome, great, fun. How about a glow-in-the-dark bubble parties for late night weeknights, or if you do it indoors, make sure you have mats or something so people don't go skating on the bubbles. But anyways, that is the UV16. Several applications. It's a black light. I mean, if you don't know what to do with a black light, well, go hurt yourself. Because black lights are cool. Everybody should be using them now. And that's it. American DJ. UV LED 16. Keep a lookout for my next video. I want to talk about the Eco LEDs and how these 2 lights will work together to give you a perfect wash. By the way, in case I did not say it, 30-watt draw as opposed to 100 watts to my regular black lights take. So now I can put everything on one circuit, which is great. The other thing I'll go ahead and mention this. We use fluorescent lights. Some of you that may use the fluorescent black lights know that when you're pulling a lot of power, or your power cord or extension cords are running thin, sometimes you get stuck with a really crappy circuit or anything like that. Whenever your base hits, or if you have like for example halogens that dim on and off, you may see your fluorescence flicker. We get that depending on the ballast that we use. These won't have that issue, which is nice. This also doesn't have the issue of fluorescent lights accidentally breaking. We have broken a lot of fluorescent lights. I'm trying to come up with a good analogy, but I just don't have one. We've broken a lot of fluorescent lights, so we'll leave it at that. This you can't break. Again, super lightweight. You can play catch with it. You can throw it at your dog in case he needs to be punished. The point being is, super lightweight, great for school dances, weddings, and other stuff. So, American DJ, UV LED bar 16. My name is Arnoldo Offermann with Master School Dances. And if you want to be one of the cool kids that makes buku money at school dances,
rock the baby, just rock the baby, just rock the baby, don't drop the baby. Rock the baby, don't drop the baby. Rock the baby, don't drop